Good morning, guys. Welcome to this Wednesday, July 22nd, and summer type trading. We are still just kind of churning, twisting in the wind. Not much directional use. We're still holding at the highs, or at the you can see these upper areas of been building value there for quite a while. Since mid-May, it's been up here, and we are still building value. A couple of pretty big rotations down. But we've been retracing those pretty quick, and now we are, as you can see, just kind of sitting here, twisting in a way and building value. We are in earnings season, the Iranian situation, nothing has changed there, and the only thing we can do right now is just start off this whole thing range bound. It's not really directional moves. We get the headline moves us up or down. We get an announcement moves us up or down. But I think watching the earnings season come out and the Iranian situation develop are the two big factors, I think. And for the Iranian situation, it's about oil prices. Right now, oil prices are right up there at $87. So they spiked a little bit. And that's not a great sign, but it's that's what follows through with concerns about that conflict. So high oil prices, excuse me, it's going to bring it right back to energy inflation and concerns about that. But right now, I would just start off range bound, look to fade the edges fairly equally, and then let's see where they're going to go from here. So initially, looking to buy against the 75.10s, 75.100s. 74.85, 74.70s. They're going to sell strength against resistance, 75.30s, 75.50s for rotations back down. Maybe up here to the 75.70s, but I'm thinking that this 75.50 is a pretty good area of resistance right now. That comes out, we may want to start thinking about the long side a little bit more aggressively. The news we had this morning is pretty anemic. We had the mortgage apps come out. A mixed picture on that one, plus minus numbers. Not a big deal. Atlanta Fed business inflation expectations coming up at 10. And that's about it. 20-year auction at 1. So it is not much news to drive the market this week. And just have to live with what the market throws at us. And I'm thinking the primary dynamic is going to just be range bound, watch headlines, and then trade it as such. I mean, yesterday's trading was nothing but sloppy, difficult trading, and I took a couple of trades there, stopped trading. If we get into it, if it doesn't move, don't trade it. It just unless you have a really good trade location, a really deliberate kind of a trade. But right now, it's just range bound trading. So on the way down, we have a few more levels. On the way up here, up to that 75.50. Above 75.50, I would look for more of a retracement trade, a little bit more aggressive on the long side. See how far they want to take it. But still, as if they trade higher, we're still looking for shorts against that 75.70s, 80s, 90s, up to the 7600. Looking for shorts all the way up. But it's once they start taking out the 50s, I would not be shy about hopping on the long side as they explore the path higher. And the same thing goes for the move to the downside. Initially looking to buy against that 75.10s, 75.100s, 74.85, and the 75s for rotations higher. If they start taking out the 70s, 75s here, I would be a lot more aggressive on the short side. Still looking to buy against these lower areas, 74.50, 74.45s, rotations back up again. So it's just we have a kind of a defined range right now, and if they start breaking out of that, we may have a directional move for a bit. But we're going to be running into support resistance as well. So that's the very basic starting point here. For the Nasdaq, pretty good move. They've been up here. They could not get past it, guys. They could not get past this resistance here at the 29,300 as yet. They're still building value in the lower end of the range. Not a great sign, I would say. I would say that's a little bit concerning, but I'm waiting for them to get up above that 300. I'll be a little bit more excited about the long side on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq feels a little bit weaker. You get these nice little overnight runs. It feels more like a dead cat bounce than anything else. And who knows, maybe you're going to get another leg lower here. Another attempt to take this lower. Would not surprise me at all. And they run it down here. Watch this lower area, these support areas right now. We have areas here at the 690, 700s, this bigger area at the 530s, 500s. They may come down here and challenge this low volume area. It could look pretty ugly for a bit if that starts happening. So that's the thing. That's what I'm thinking about on the Nasdaq. Because who knows? It's the summertime, usually volatile. Usually get pretty good sell-offs here as people reassess stuff. I think the best thing you have got going is that the if the earnings are coming out great, I think they could mitigate this whole situation. But if you get a little bit of a miss on an earnings, tech earning, or a bit concerned about the AI trade or all that stuff, you're going to see those AI stocks get hammered again, and then basically probably we'll see Nasdaq down in this lower range. But we don't have to worry about that just yet. I would look for 28,700, this area right there on the F1. You see also on the F2 here the low. That was yesterday's overnight low actually. That right down there. So looking to buy weakness against the 900s, the 29,000s, and then 28,900s, 28,830s, 750s, and the 700s for rotations up. Looking for short setups against resistance at 29,100, 170, 210, 250, 300 up to that 350 area. So these are resistance areas all the way up here. So pretty much if they start taking out that 350 high and they start extending past this up in this upper area, I would be a lot more aggressive on the long side, thinking that we can do a little bit more retracement. But right now we're kind of twisting in the wind here. And this whole structure looks to me like very much like a potential dead cat bounce. It's hard to sell off, a couple of days off, churning it higher. And I'm just waiting for them to hammer it again, trying to get another elevator down there. But it doesn't necessarily need to happen. So I mean, it's just the potential given the setup. But right now we're starting off range bound. I'm going to watch this upper area at the 350s, the lower area at the 28,700s, and that's the range Nasdaq is trading in. Pretty freaking wide, if you ask me. I may have to start. I keep saying that, but I had to start compressing this a little bit more. My Nasdaq right now is at my profile is 26 ticks. I mean, I have to go a little bit higher on that one. But it takes a while to rebuild that one, so not just now. But anyway, so that's why we got on the ES and Nasdaq range bound trading. On the Nasdaq, watch that lower 28,700 and the upper 29,350s for rotations for a potential directional movement. Right now, range bound trading, and it's swinging wildly. Its volume is okay. It's a little bit light here this morning, 98 on the ES, 350 on the Nasdaq. That's pretty light, but you can get pretty good swings. So you had to be cautious about the whole thing. On the bond side of things, bond market just kind of twisting in the wind, heading lower, drifting lower, I would say. But they're not. It doesn't look like a lot of strength. We have a couple of days of strength, and then it kind of drifts lower, and they are heading lower. I mean, that's in the bigger picture. They are heading down towards this lower support area. If you look at the capital flow, lower support area, they're going to start challenging 109.15 in short order. And then let's see. If the yields keeps going higher, it's going to be a great sign. That's not going to be a great sign. We'll see what they can do about it. As prices come down, yields go higher. That's kind of the dynamic on the bonds. So I would look for I would look to trade it range bound with a bias to the downside, or I would favor the short side. I'm looking to sell strength 10.14, 10.21 for rotations down, and looking to buy against that 10.04, maybe down to the 109.20, 109.30 here for rotations back up again. So that's kind of the dynamic on the bonds right now. Pretty boring actually, but it's it just have to look for the setup. If you get a good setup on the bonds, it could be a really nice little payoff there. Finally, on the cryptos, we got that crazy stuff on the Ethereum. That is the problem with cryptos and light volume. Look at how crazy that got. And it's not quite hard to explain, but it's swinging wildly back and forth there for a bit. and that was like late last night. Hasn't been a lot of volume on the Ethereum contract at all. Neither on the Bitcoin futures, not much volume there either. They're holding at 65.9, around 66, backing off a little bit from the nice little pop from yesterday. All about that Clarity Act that keeps going. I think they can get that done. I think it's going to be some positive response here on the crypto futures, cryptos in general. And you can see here the oil futures at Coinbase is also trading at about 87.10 right now, and that's the one I'm watching now. There could be some nice trades in there if you can get on a nice run. Because headlines on oil could certainly move it pretty good, and that could be very much a good market to trade. I haven't done anything in overnight on the cryptos, but as you can see, it looks pretty sloppy so far. So silver, gold, kind of swinging wildly. The ones to trade here is probably the better ones are probably the Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, but it's summer trading. It's like slow stuff, volatile, sloppy action going on there. Finally, the back to the ES and Nasdaq, and I'm looking at everything still where we left it. So twisting in the wind, not much news to drive the market. 20-year auction on the bond could be interesting today at 1 o'clock, but that's about it. Alrighty, guys. So range bound trading, always traded with caution. Light volume type, light summer type trading is kind of meant for range bound trading. So in other words, don't count on breakout and big runs directionally unless you have a piece of news which came out, a headline, an announcement, an earnings report, something you know happened, which is and the market is moving. That's when you can do more like go with type of trading. Otherwise, I would look to fade breakouts more than anything else. Alrighty, guys, we'll wrap it there. So good trading, and I'll see you back at 11:30 for the next update. Alrighty, guys, later.